In this video, I'll demonstrate how to set up a public self-sign-in captive portal wireless LAN and demonstrate a client logging into this type of network. From the dashboard, we would click on Add a New Network, and I can click on that in the upper right-hand corner. The name that we're going to give this SSID is ART Public Wireless LAN. The type is going to be public, and we're going to select Portal. You'll notice that it says to set up a portal to allow users to self-register using their social media accounts to use a one-time token or to grant anonymous access to users. So we have a little diagram over on the right that shows Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and Twitter where they can use their sign-in for that. So I would then hit Next to go to my onboarding screen. And here is my self-sign-in options. Now, by default, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and Twitter are all checked, but you could go in and uncheck these individually. SMS token, this is not checked. This is a self-service sign-up using a one-time token sent to a mobile number. So you got to enable that, disable that. We'll just take the defaults in this case. On the right, we have the option of using an app. So for example, self-sign-in with Facebook, you could use your own app and you would put in your app ID and your username and your password. We're not going to use that for now. That would enable that, and you could do that for each one of these: Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Maximum number of devices by default is 1, but we could go up to 10, so let's give it 3. Everybody carries around usually more than one client these days. And under Advanced Security, we can redirect them to a specific website. If we check this, and we'll go ahead and redirect them to the Ruckus website. Grace period is 60 minutes. We could adjust that up or down. And then we would hit Next to go to the portal page. Now this is what they're going to see when they first log on. So there's going to be some welcome text. So in this case, I'm going to say, welcome to the Awani Art Studio. And you'll notice that after I put that in, over on the right, this is what shows up. Now, if I want to have a particular icon up here, I could change that. So I'll click on Change. And I could select the picture of the Awani Hotel, or it could be my picture of my art store or whatever I wanted here. I'll just put that in as an example. The next section down is the marketing message. So I could put in a message here. Buy one item, get the next one at 50% off. So I've got buy one item and get the next item at 50% off, and that'll show up over here. Terms and conditions, I can put anything in there I want to. This is our venue, so we have to advertise this SSID to one venue. So I'm going to go ahead and advertise it to Awani Arts and hit Next. And this takes us to our summary menu. And the name of our network is Art Public Wireless LAN. Same thing for SSID. Category is public, gives me the type, the venue that it's on, which is Awani Arts. Under the advanced settings, I could put in additional parameters. I could change the VLAN ID. I could hide the SSID. I could do rate limiting if I wanted to. I'm just going to keep the defaults here. And when I hit create, it'll go ahead and create this network. And this will take about 30 to 60 seconds to do this. And then next it'll say activating network on venue Awani Arts. After it finishes, it'll take us back to the dashboard. And then if we go back to our network tab, we can now see that Art Public Wireless LAN has now been created. It doesn't have a description. I could go in and edit it to give it that description. And if I click on this network, it'll just bring up the detail. Art Public Wireless LAN. Says it's a portal self-sign-in. Gives me the information here on the right. Max rate, max client rate, client isolation, all the details that I want. And it just gives me a pictorial. Now you notice we don't have any information down here because I haven't attached a client to this yet. So the next thing is to put on my client hat and go down to connect to my wireless network connection. So if I go to the bottom of my screen, click on my wireless network connection, and I scroll down, here we have Art Public Wireless LAN. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to it. And it'll say connecting to the network. And the next thing I have to do is open up a browser to be able to get to the portal. So when I open up a new tab, and then try to connect to the internet, it brings up my portal. So it says, welcome to the Awani Art Studio, buy one item, get the next item at 50% off. And then I could connect with my Facebook, Twitter, connect with Google, or connect with LinkedIn. So I'm going to go ahead and connect with Google. It says you can now access our Wi-Fi network. Enjoy. And there we go. We are redirected to the ruckuswireless.com website. That was the redirect portal that we put in. If I go back to my network connections and I click on my wireless network connections, you can see that I am now attached to ART Public Wireless LAN. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my Ruckus Cloud, and from the dashboard, let's click on Networks, and ART Public is the wireless LAN that we created. So if I click on my ART Public Wireless LAN, this brings up a detail of that SSID. So it gives me a pictorial description here. It says it's a portal, it's a self sign-in, it's a public network. Shows me the different types of ways that I can log in: Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and Twitter. On the right, it gives some data: maximum rate, maximum clients, in this case was 100. We took the default. Client isolation is on. Session time limit is 1 day. Maximum devices per guest were 3. If you remember, we had an option between 1 to 10 of maximum devices, so that was our 3 devices. And MAC caching is a day. If I scroll down to the bottom here, we have some analytical data. So it shows traffic from the client, traffic to the client, and that's the color graph that I have over here on the right. And then further down, we have the client count, and it shows that we have 1 client. So this just shows us that the SSID that we created is working. We've got a client attached, and everything seems to be up and running. So in this short video, I've demonstrated how to set up a public self-sign-in captive portal wireless LAN using the Cloud Wi-Fi portal.